All right, so moving forward to the keynote session post-lunch. Thank you so much, everyone, for being an amazing audience. The topic of this will be automating CI/CD with integrated security, simplifying tool chains for seamless DevOps efficiency. And this will be conducted by Mr. Vijay Kumar, Associate Director, Aristocrat Gaming. Let me give a small brief about sir. With a strong focus on automation, reliability, and efficiency, they lead with a vision to drive DevOps strategies that streamline development, enhance system performance, and ensure seamless software delivery. His expertise spans scalable CI/CD pipelines, cloud infrastructure, security, and monitoring solutions, improving productivity, resilience, and operational excellence across the organization. By aligning DevOps strategy with business objectives, he drives processes, optimization, automation, and cross-functional synergy, accelerating delivery while maintaining high-quality standards. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our next keynote speaker on the dais, Mr. Vijay Kumar, Associate Director, Aristocrat Gaming. Please, everyone, energy. Yes. Thank you so much.
Hello, yeah, cool. Come on, Delhi. Are we up? How's the Josh? Awesome. So guys, today we are, since morning we are learning about or discussing about DevSecOps, security, shifting left, So all these things we already discussed, and again I'm going to talk about these areas only because that's my topic and the keynote. But before that, security is something, in our personal life, definitely we take security as the first thing when you go out of our home, Each and every member in the family is responsible for security, right? So, but when we talk about professional life, we all are concerned about deliveries, timelines, right? And then in our lives, professional lives, we always, keep security on the backside, right? So, today we are going to talk about automating CI/CD. We all know CI/CD. We all know what all tools we can use for CI/CD. Different tools we already talked about. GitHub. So we have GitHub Actions, Jenkins. Different tools are there in the market. But I'm going to talk about the philosophy. How can we, integrate security and keep this in our agenda from day one of the development cycle, right? So with that, this is our agenda for the day. Generally we always tend to connect to stories. So rather than I call it agenda, I call it a storyline. And I'll start with the introduction, brief introduction, and then we will understand what's the challenge around security. We all, discuss few of the challenges throughout. And then, as I said, we always consider security as the bottleneck. There are a couple of, sayings every other day I hear from the dev team or DevOps team. Then we will talk about how can we use that shift left mindset and use key AI integrations. Then we have redundant tools across organization. How can we simplify the tool chain? What all things we should consider? Then observability and monitoring. We saw good tools, GitHub around observability, New Relic, and then Datadog. Then how our end-to-end pipeline should look like, and then all the security measures we should consider. Then business impact and efficiency matrices, key takeaways, next steps, and then Q&A session. Awesome. So that's my brief introduction. Vijay Kumar, Associate Director DevOps, Aristocrat Gaming, driving DevOps excellence, focus on innovation, automation, security, reliability, scalability. These are general terms these days. Now, I believe in empowering dev team, DevOps team, in fact, all the members in the across the organization, creating champions, not only security champions, infrastructure champions, DevOps champions, I think it's, and when I say DevOps, it's not a team, it's a discipline, if everyone consider DevOps as a discipline, I think that organization can excel at exponential level. So that's my brief introduction. Then let's understand the challenge. As I said, security is a bottleneck. We tend to consider security as a bottleneck every time, and then insecure commits, vulnerabilities, dependencies, third-party dependencies, insufficient testing, right? Yeah, we all come across this security as a bottleneck in our development cycle, and then either development team or tester comes and say, can we push it next sprint or next phase of this development, right? Complex tool chains. We across the organization, let's say if an organization uses Azure DevOps, GitHub Actions, so why should we use redundant tools? Why can we simplify our tool chain and then explore before simplifying those or considering those tools? Then because of those complexities or the security as a bottleneck, and then we tend to delay the releases or go ahead with vulnerabilities, either the low or medium ones, right? So I think these are the few challenges which we always come across in our day-to-day professional lives. Now, considering security from bottleneck to an enabler. Now, in the traditional view, we didn't had enough automated tools. Now it's a transformation, I would say. We have different tools in the market, but in traditional view, we used to say, larger release cycles, manual security testing, and then can say, and you can see the left side image. The cross ones, a broken pin which gets patched up, but the new way is the feedback loop, feedback cycle that we are doing things iteration by iteration every sprint. And then integrated view provided smoother release cycles, quicker one, then automated security testing, different tools, simplified tool chains, right? So definitely we have came across a long way from traditional view to integrated view, but still I think with the transformation of these new tools which we came across since morning, I think this is going to change the way we usually work. Right, now how can we bring that, what are things we should do to shifting this security as a left in our development cycle? So I think first foremost, dev teams or developers should be equipped with proper tools, proper training, so that at least not only mindset, but they are equipped with the proper skill set. What should they do if they come across or while doing the development? So training is must before we start saying that mindset should be shifted. Then ID integration. Yes, developers are trained, but how are they equipped? So I think better tools should be equipped with their development ID where they are doing the coding. Then pre-commit hooks. We saw there's a GitHub push feature, right? It's not allowing to push the credentials or secrets to the code. So I think those are the strong tools which can help us in pre-commit hooks. And then automated peer reviews. So rather than architects or different team members reviewing all the PRs, there should be automated way to do the peer reviews so that we can get the problem solved automatically if there are any challenges or critical or high vulnerabilities. Yes, those are the things which we can consider. There are more, but these are the 4 critical items which I can say which help us to shift the security left in the development cycle. Yeah, then how can we integrate it? We saw and someone said security static analysis testing. Then we have DAST, dynamic analysis testing. Then software composition analysis, container security. I have not written down all the areas, but these are the few areas where we should generally check and implement it in CI/CD. And definitely, we all have expertise on or experience on so many tools. Explore those tools. For example, SonarQube is the one where you can do SAST. Dynamic DAST, for DAST you can use OWASP-ZAD, which is free one, open source, and then Sync Dynamic is the one which has a licensing model. For SCA you can use Sync open source, Black Duck by Synopsys. For container, I heard from one of the members is already using Trivy for container security, right? So you must be using all these tools, but today we are just talking about the mindset, changing the mindset and thinking about security from day one. And then again, when we are talking about AI since morning, so why not we talk about how can we, what all areas or basic areas we can bring in AI with respect to security. So we already heard predictive analysis. We can use historical data, use machine learning, and detect the patterns, right? Anomaly detection, and that too intelligent. So if let's say if we have somewhere credentials in the AI, in the CI/CD AI algorithm should find out and then try to detect and then report it. Then threat intelligence, automated threat intelligence, real-time adaption. So now automatically it should understand what kind of issues it generated last time, and then it should self-learn, right, and then update all the policies automatically based on the threat detected last time. So that way human intervention will not be required. Then smart remediation and suggestions. For example, as I said, if developer have ID integrated, automatically they should know what was the issue and how to fix it, so that they are not spending enough time in remediating all the issues, and that will bring efficiency throughout development cycle from application development to the delivery. Right. So what all things we should consider before discussing any tool or exploring any tool? Considering we are not rendering any new tool, so that if we already have a tool doing something, we should consider it rather than going for the new tool. Simplifying or seamless API integration. When you are exploring any tool, just check that APIs are exposed, it's secured, so that you can use those APIs for automation. Standardizing workflows, for example, GitHub Actions. Most of us must be using that GitHub action for our day-to-day CI/CD pipeline. And dashboards. I love dashboards. We generally want to see the data in one single place. So the tool should have a dashboard so that you can get a single get the health check in a single view. Now I've listed down few tools which we all know, but just for knowledge, what all tools we can use, I have mentioned it. Now observability, definitely, and these are the three basic things which whenever we are thinking about observability, we should think about matrices, logging, and tracing. Obviously, we know Elk. We heard about Datadog. Someone is using I think few members are already using Prometheus, Grafana. For logging, we have Elk Stack, Fluentd, AWS CloudWatch. Most of us, if you are in cloud, you might have heard of it or used it. Tracing, New Relic is a powerful tool. Azure Application Insights on cloud side if you are using Azure. So yeah, observability for health and security of our application. It's I think everyone should have observability in place to bring the efficiency in troubleshooting or getting it resolved. Now, when we talk about CI/CD, we talk about planning or developing, build, test, delivery. But each and every phase has security integrated in it. We all have to think about security in each and every phase. Whether if we are building, we should do SAST. If we are doing testing, we should talk about DAST, pen testing. When we are doing the delivery, all the artifacts should be digitally signed. If we are shipping into the customer, it should be done through a secured manner. So if you'll think about all the phases of the development cycle, I think security should be implied everywhere, and it should be, each and every member's responsibility of that organization is to think about security. Great. Now, what are the best practices? And these are not the only ones, but I listed down few. Infrastructure as code. Don't do manual, follow manual practices. It should be automated. If it is AWS, on-prem, GCP, it should be automated. Policy, I think we all love to implement policies. That should also be implemented as code. It should not apply policy as in a manual way. Now, centralized secret management we should not store our API keys or tokens anywhere. There should be a centralized place to store all these secrets. Automated audit trails so that we can trace it back, what happened, what went wrong, or what was the problem. Role-based RBAC, the basic mistake we all do in a rush, give access to individuals. So don't do that. Create roles and provide access based on RBAC. Secure dependencies. We generally, doesn't run or bother about third-party dependencies. So we should always have a check in place for the third-party dependencies which are consumed by our applications. And then immutable infrastructure. I was having a discussion with someone, why do we need to create infrastructure again and again, or environment? Now, when you keep infrastructure for so long, there are so many vulnerabilities. In fact, each and every day, those attackers are active that your environment is going to be vulnerable. So don't leave the environment as it is. Don't just deploy, don't patch, which means you should be able to create or use the automation framework, and then you should be able to create environment end to end every other day rather than keeping it for years and years. Now, business impact, definitely. If we are doing all these things, what all impact we would like to see on our business. So we can see developers' productivity is improved if they will go through training, if they will start thinking. Yeah, few weeks takes time. To develop that mindset, it takes time. But when for a longer run, when it gets ingrained in our minds, then journey is smooth. So faster development cycles, reducing operational cost, then our lower security risks, compliance posture is better. Then time to market is reduced, and that will increase the revenue. We talked about revenue in the morning. And then enhancing customer satisfaction and the reputation. Right, so some matrices, definitely without matrices, I think I cannot prove the impact. So these are some source insights from where I captured this data. If we will shift the security or consider the security left in the development cycle, our cost to fix vulnerability is going to be very less, and to adapt to the development cycle itself, rather than we spend going on production and fixing more than $7,000. Time to remediating vulnerabilities, that also gets reduced, because now we are using our automation is in place. We are fixing all the issues before in hand. Development time savings, definitely when we have all the IDs or integration in place, our time to time to develop is lesser. Security detection rate, because we are having so many checks and balances in place, I think our as per data, security remediation or detection is faster. Time to recovery, self-healing. We all talk about self-healing in Kubernetes, but time to recovery also gets reduced. And then audit readiness. When we have these things in place, automatically our audits will be faster. Now, same way, in graphical representation, you can see when we have comparison to traditional approach with this shift left security, there are results which is industry wide, and any parameter you will see but first few weeks will be tough, But once things get streamlined, all these checks and balances are in place, you'll start seeing the results. Now, key takeaways, definitely empower developer to security, with security as code. Consider security as an enabler, not as a bottleneck. Simplify your tool chain when you are exploring things. Consider those aspects which I have shared. Automate everything possible. Definitely, there are few things which may not be which should not be able to automate, but automate everything possible. Shift left, observe right. I think that's the most important term. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you. And I would like to thank Kane Skills team. Thank you for having me here. I think it's not a presentation for me, but I'm learning a lot with respect to that.
Thank you so much, everyone. Let's give Sir a huge round of applause, and please be with us for another moment. May I invite Mr. Deepak Gupta, VP of Engineering, CAS 24. Sir, please join in to present a small token of appreciation, as Sir has managed to be here and given us such an informative session.